Hey guys, G5 Cosmos, resuming my ultimate tier list video. In case you didn't watch any of the other parts, I just wanted to mention that this tier list is purely for fun because obviously the game is not out yet, and all these things are mostly speculations and just theories based on footage we've seen so far, or footage I've seen so far. So I'm going to show you the tier list again. In the last video I made, I did the top tiers, and now I'm moving on to the high tiers. So my definitions for these tiers: top tiers are characters that seem really good, they could be the best in the game potentially. They just have potential to be really good. High tiers are characters that I also think are really good, but lack some special factor that they would need to be among the best in the game. Mid tiers are characters that are not terrible, but have nothing great about them. And low tiers are characters that just don't really seem to be able to get things done and have plenty of weaknesses. NA is for characters that I didn't see enough footage of to really have any kind of conclusion for. Okay, and these are all just my definitions. That's not necessarily what top, high, mid, low, etc. mean in general. It's similar, but I'm just talking about in terms of my own tier list. So yeah, so we're starting with high tier, so Cloud. So you might, depending on what kind of footage you've seen, you might think Cloud should be in top tier. I was leaning on putting him in top tier, but the thing is, so for one thing, Cloud is nerfed. Limit goes away after 15 seconds, which I think is the biggest nerf because it doesn't allow him to camp the same way. It doesn't allow him to just wait for an opportunity to cross slash you for the kill. And it means that it's going to be very unlikely for him to recover with limit cross slash, which is something that overall does buff his recovery a ton, and his greatest weakness, which is his recovery, you know, like being gimped. Because in Smash 4 you can kind of hold on to limit and save it for when you need to recover if you want to. But you won't really be able to do that in Ultimate because you're going to lose it after 15 seconds. So you basically have to make aggressive plays when you have limit with Cloud. His hitboxes were made smaller. You can't do falling up air, at least not consistently like you could in Smash 4 anymore. His nair is smaller. Just his hitboxes are smaller in general. They're still plenty big though, and I think a lot of the things that make Cloud good in Smash 4 are still going to be really good in Ultimate. I think he's still going to be really good at juggling, especially because air dodge is weaker. You have to land with aerials a lot, and his up air is still going to be disjointed, so it can contest those aerials. He still has down air, which is going to help him in disadvantage. But the reason I didn't put him in top tier is because I think without the ability to air dodge, he's just going to get his biggest weakness is made even worse. The fact that he can't recover easily. I think you're going to hit Cloud off stage and just run off and mash your controller, and he's going to die because he can't air dodge, because he'll just, you know, there's too much lag, he'll die. And at some point he has to drift close to the edge. Even if he does a really early up B, he has to drift. So if you hit Cloud off stage and you take his jump, I think he's just dead. You know, which is pretty much what happens in Smash 4 anyway, but at least in Smash 4 he has the option to air dodge downward and then have you whiff once and he can maybe recover, but in this game he can't even do that. So for that reason I'm putting him and also Chrom, which we'll see, in high tier. Okay, next we have Isabelle. So Isabelle is basically a better villager. She has an insane set of traps with the new down B setup with Lloyd, where it activates either manually or when someone runs over it, and sends upward, which can combo into an aerial. And Fishing Rod, which seems to just grab people on ledge if they're there when you have the Fishing Rod out. Fishing Rod's a really interesting tool. I don't know if it's considered... Let me know in the comments, guys. Do you consider the Fishing Rod a command grab? Because it grabs people, but it doesn't work on shield. So is it really a grab? We don't think we really have any moves like that. But beyond that, she has other things that Villager has in terms of slingshot, so she can be really annoying and wall people out with that move. Same up air and down air, probably, you know, different properties to them, but they seem to be disjointed and function fairly similarly. And same recovery. She's very similar to Villager in a lot of these ways, but I think her trap and keep away potential is even greater thanks to her tools. All right, next we have Captain Falcon. So Captain Falcon has ridiculous movement. He still has a good punish game because up air is really fast, but he doesn't seem to have the same combo potential that he did in Smash 4. Knee does a lot of shield damage and can break shields from what we've seen. But overall, I think the best thing about Falcon is his movement and his ability to throw out really quick up airs and whatnot. I put him down here because I think he still is going to suffer in disadvantage. He's still probably going to be one of the most easier characters to combo. He has a weak recovery still, same recovery, so it's going to be really easy to edge guard him because he has to up B and you can hit him, and he can no longer air dodge before that to try and like air dodge past you and then up B you towards the blast zone or something like that. Mix-ups like that are pretty much killed by the new air dodge mechanics. And also because certain moves like side B has been nerfed. Like side B is no longer a kill move. It may have combo potential, I haven't seen, but it seems like his kill power is nerfed a little bit. Forward smash appears to have less range. That could be wrong though. And I'm not sure if up air knee still works, but in general it seems like, and he can't, you know, take you all over the stage with combos anymore, like with neutral air strings and whatnot, and up air strings. So I think he's basically like Smash 4 Falcon, but nerfed. But he still looks very solid overall, still has great frame data and movement. Corrin, I'd say a similar thing, just looks similar to Smash 4 Corrin, but seems to be maybe a little nerfed. Recovery doesn't seem to go as far, and she still seems pretty slow. A lot of the combos that she had in Smash 4 don't seem to be there anymore with like fair, up air, things like that. Pin doesn't seem to, or like lunge, dragon lunge doesn't seem to go as far. And just in general, Corrin's a character that sort of teeters between top and high even in Smash 4. Although she's probably top tier in Smash 4. But in Ultimate, I'm just going to say high. I haven't seen a crazy amount of Corrin footage, but I haven't really seen anything crazy yet from Corrin, so that's gonna be waiting. Alright, Donkey Kong is an interesting one that you might consider putting lower, but I had to put Donkey Kong in high tier. He has really good, just like his moveset is just really good and fast and useful. Down B has like no lag and can pressure shields. He has a lot of range, a ton of kill power with all kinds of moves. He has a setup, or not really a setup, but now cargo back throw seems to kill at fairly decent percents. Like we've seen it kill like around in the hundreds. His up air is still really strong. He has early percent combos with cargo throw. No more ding dong at high percent for like kills, but he can still like ding dong you for damage, excuse me. But the reason he has to be not high tier, or excuse me, not top tier, is because he's still a really big bodied character that isn't going to have the best options and disadvantage. His recovery vertically is still horrible, so he's still going to get chewed up in all ways possible, but I think he has just finally a fighting chance with a really solid move set. He's really fast in general too, so I'm going to put him in high tier for this reason. Alright, next we have Falco. This is another one I was considering putting in NA because I haven't seen a crazy amount of footage from him. But he basically seems like a buffed version of Smash 4 Falco. Now neutral down air auto cancels out of a short hop, which is great for edge guarding because he's going to be, you know, doing edge guards, and this is also great for neutral and whatever else he might use down air for. His aerials seem to be, you know, pretty good. They're pretty good in Smash 4 also, so that's not meaning too much, but with less landing lag like they have in this game, that's also really good in general. And he seems a little faster, I'm not sure about that, but he just seems like a character that can get things done in ways that he almost could in Smash 4, so that's why I'm putting him here. Ice Climbers seem like they have really good damage output, they have really good juggling with up air, they have, you know, potential setups and walls with a good projectile like the ice blocks, and I mean that's pretty much what I could say for Ice Climbers. I think they're just a solid character overall due to those reasons like damage output, juggling. They seem really good at things. I think they also have true combos with up throw to up air and a few up airs you can get, and we've just seen a lot of videos of Ice Climbers doing really good with juggling, but we'll have to see more about that character in your release to find out. Link in this game seems like the best iteration of standard Link that we've seen. He kind of has all of the things that made Young Link good, but he's a little slower. Not everything is crazy, but he's faster than I've seen Link be in other games. The new bomb is really interesting and creates new setups. I don't think the new arrow mechanic of being able to pick it up is particularly crazy, but he finally has a normal grab, so he'll be able to get in people's faces more and be able to punish things on shield safely in ways that he could not before, because he doesn't have to rely on a slow tether grab, and he's just overall his frame data just seems I'm not sure if it actually is better frame data, but he just seems like he can throw out more projectiles really quickly and cover more space, especially because he'll land faster because of the gravity buffs to the game. So yeah, I think Link looks just generally improved, but nothing that screams top tier about him. If you want top tier Link, that's Young Link. If you just look at like a game footage of Young Link and then regular Link, you'll kind of see what I mean, where Link looks really solid also, but like you can just tell that Young Link is just so much better, like in terms of like just top tier potential. All right, next we have Mario. So Mario seems like he has the same, most of the same things that he had in Smash 4, that made him good, like good frame data, just good movement in the air. He can throw out tons of aerials and just pressure you, very little lag on them. But the one thing that's really different about him is he doesn't really seem to be able to grab you and just do a ton of damage off of like a true combo from down throw. And I would say that he's pretty much Smash 4 Mario without that. I mean, there are other subtle changes, but I think that's the biggest change. And I think that's the biggest, that's big enough to bring him down a tier, because he can no longer get these huge combos, and that's going to make him have to do so much more work winning neutral and making plays in advantage state to win games. Alright, next we have Meta Knight. Meta Knight seems like his hitboxes may be bigger than in Smash 4, I'm not sure, but either way, he still has disjoints, he can move around pretty quickly, he still has up air juggles, which take you really far. He can do up airs into up B, but up B doesn't kill really anymore, but you can still get a lot of damage. He can get really good true combo juggles, which is something that we don't see much of in Ultimate so far. And he just seems like an overall mobile character. He's still small, has a variety of recovery mix-ups, which is good in a game where edge guarding is so good. Having multiple double jumps is good for disadvantage in a game where disadvantage is bad. And yeah, a lot of the other thing is just the same as Smash 4, where he has really good juggles and these disjointed aerials that can make it difficult to deal with. Okay, next we have Ness. Ness is very similar to Smash 4 also. His up air got a change where now it's multi-hit, but it can still kill, and now can also set up into combos on the ground if you do a drag down with it. Potentially even a grab. His back throw is still really strong. Seems like it's not quite as strong. His recovery may have invincibility from... There's a clip of Lucina doing a counter, and it just completely goes right through Ness, so I'm not sure what that's about. But in general, he doesn't have anything particularly broken. He can't air dodge all over the place like he could in Smash 4, which was something that was really good for him in Smash 4. But in general, he's just a solid designed character. He has good aerials, good kill power with back throw, and if he happens to land a forward smash or an up air, is really good for juggling as well. He can be annoying. It seems like PK Fire got a buff, like it's not as easy to like SDI or just escape from PK Fire, so he can get that and get some setups off of that and control space with it also. And that's Ness. Alright, next we have Peach and Daisy. I'm not entirely sure what the differences are between these two characters yet, but they seem very mobile, as they are with the float maneuverability and all the float mechanics, but now everything's faster in Ultimate, so that's even better. Their moveset seems really strong. Fair is still a really strong kill move. They seem to have some combos. They still have, you know, tricks with down air. Back air seems really strong. Turn-ups seem like a great annoying projectile. They might even be faster. Peach and Daisy just seem really solid. They're good characters in Smash 4. I think they're good in Ultimate for pretty much the same reasons. Alright, next we have Rosalina. This is one that I haven't seen too much footage of. Rosalina seems like she can do a lot of the things she can do in Smash 4, but Luma got a big nerf. Luma can't break you out of combos as easily because Luma goes into like a scared animation when Rosalina is getting beat up. Also, Luma doesn't seem to have the insane base knockback that she has in Smash 4, thank goodness. And she just seems like a weaker version of Smash 4 Rosalina, where she still has big range because of Luma. She can still juggle you well with her disjointed up air, but all the broken things about her seem to be toned down a little bit. Alright, next we have Chrom. So this one's I'm really interested to talk about because I hear a lot of people saying that they think Chrom is actually going to be like low tier or bottom tier because his recovery is so bad. Well, I agree his recovery is really terrible. So his recovery, even though he's a Roy Echo Fighter, his recovery is basically Ike's Aether. There might be differences, but I'm not sure. But basically it only goes straight up, where Ike has the recovery mix-up of using Quick Draw side B to recover. And Chrom doesn't have that. He also doesn't have the diagonal recovery that Roy had. But having Roy's moveset without the Sour Spot will allow Chrom to have a really aggressive neutral game and a really just aggressive gameplay in general without having to get too close. So he can take advantage of the range he has from a disjoint without having to sacrifice the power and pressure that you get from you know, if you're trying to play Roy, you use the wet noodle hitboxes at the end of his sword, but Chrom can use those. And Roy has all of these great things like great frame data, very low landing lag, great maneuverability, some combo potential, great pressure, and I think Chrom's going to have all this potentially better because of the uniform hitboxes, but just a worse recovery. So I don't see how someone can put Chrom in low tier and then put Cloud in top or high tier, because I feel like they both have the exact same weakness where they only have a purely vertical recovery. But at least in Chrom's case, there's a good chance that his recovery will have some kind of super armor like Ike's does. Of course, this is not guaranteed, but it's quite likely since it seems to be essentially the same move. And it also has a slightly more obnoxious hitbox, so I don't see Chrom being below high tier. Next we have Snake. So Snake seems very solid. he seems to have a lot of the things he had from Brawl. He can pester you with grenades and all kinds of projectiles and setups, and he's very heavy. He has recovery mix-ups with down B, but in general, I think this is going to be a character that you're just going to edgeguard a lot and keep in disadvantage forever. And that's the reason that I'm putting him in high tier and not top tier. I think he's going to have a particularly poor disadvantage, and you're just going to beat him up and edgeguard him. All right, next we have Wolf. So I would have probably put Wolf in top tier until I heard about his frame data. Apparently his moves are actually kind of slow, but in general he seems like a very mobile character. He's pretty fast on the ground and has good airspeed, and he has a lot of good good sized hitboxes on his aerials and on his moves in general. He has a new neutral air, which will allow him to like pressure better and can use it to set up into things. And he has a really good projectile in neutral B. So I think Wolf is going to be a pretty good character, but just not quite super broken. I'm surprised that he can't do like that he goes into free fall from side B is what we've seen, because they changed that for Fox and Falco, and it's a pretty much similar move. So I don't know why they did that. All right, and finally we have Villager. I did put Villager in this tier, even though I think Isabelle is better than Villager, but Villager is still strong in the ways he was in Smash 4. He has a really, really long distance on his recovery, so he can do mix-ups like going underneath the stage if you're trying to edgeguard him. He has annoying setups with Tree and Slingshot, and Bowling Ball is still really strong. Oh, I forgot to mention with Ness, he can hang his yo-yo off of the stage, which is really good for edgeguarding. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for high tier. I'm going to come back in the next video and we'll talk about mid tier and, of course, the other tiers. So if you guys have your own thoughts on the tier list in this game, you can let me know in the comments. And be sure to subscribe to Game 5 Smash for more Smash Ultimate content. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.